An exciting development here outside of Marinovka, friends. We are playing as the Soviet Union, but the actual Germans have taken Fedorovka and Marinovka. And it's our chance, despite not having a very large force here, to put up the best fight we can and ambush any German units in the area. Now, they are planning to actually move through here to essentially inspect the area, make sure that nothing is going astray. And what we're going to do is try to set up a good old-fashioned defense. We have no time to set trenches, nothing like that. So what I'm going to do is take Barenkov, put him over here in the farmstead area. Hopefully there won't be much German defense here. Set them up on defense. We also have 2 AT guns, and I'm setting these up right there where you see those bushes. I think it's just an appropriate place, especially since that's where the attack's supposed to come from. We're also going to take Shaitakov and put him over here to assist in this massive defense. Because let's face it, we're facing a massive German force, probably, and if we want to at least hold out against them, then we just need to pretty much get as much cover as possible. So that's what we're going to do here. We also have a unit, or a group of units at the farmstead, and I'm going to take the infantry and actually put them in the farmstead here, just defend to the very end, to the death, against the Germans, and hopefully we can keep these positions. All glory to the Soviet Union, folks. There is no surrender allowed, of course, as we know. Order 226. This is actually before Order 226. Order 2. Why am I referencing Star Wars? Somebody put it down below. Stalin's order is to have all commissars shoot retreating soldiers. Obviously applies here. We are just going to try and ambush the Germans and give them a good old-fashioned surprise. So now that we actually have control over these units, we're going to take Budenkov, and I'm just going to go to the farmstead and have them set up. So let's hope that we don't have any German friends here waiting for us. And as you can see, a good old group of Soviets going to take back what's already theirs. Go for it, brothers. Let's hope that we're prepared for whatever the Germans send at us. It's sure to be something pretty significant, and we don't have many forces to face it, but I am prepared, brothers, to die for the Soviet Union. Let's make it happen. Let's also grab some of these other units. You can even hear these frogs. And I want to see if we can just grab single unit, yeah, there we go. And put him over here. So yeah, I don't think there are any Germans at the farmstead. We got pretty lucky there, but we just don't know how they're going to react. So we're going to hold out at the farmstead over here, very swampy, muddy ground, and we're going to hold out over here. We'll call this the Lonely Road. How about that? I might actually take a few of these guys, if I can, and sort of just split them up, separate them around the area, and just have them prepare for a proper defense. Alright, folks, we'll return when the fighting commences, but I think we have some Red Army troops here ready to give their lives for Stalin. Farmstead is being heavily bombarded by the Wehrmacht here, guys. And you can just see we set up defenses here. They are just launching as many artillery strikes as they can against this area. They certainly plan to retake this. And it just goes to show you that as good as Graviteam is at sort of determining the AI's movements, over here they were incorrect. They didn't think that they were going to attack this area, but they're absolutely making it a priority. You can see those massive rounds. Must be 122 millimeter or 150 millimeter even, maybe even 180 millimeter. It's just tremendous. And you can see plenty of our men have already succumbed to those rounds. Less than I expected. That is not our truck from this battle. That being said, we're just pretty much setting up. We've actually spread out our men even more. For instance, I put a unit over here in this trench. And we're just going to wait for the Germans to attack and see if we can't cause some serious casualties to them. I think right now that's the most important thing, is increase casualties as much as possible. In fact, I'll even take these guys and move them into the trench too, and we will get started with this fight. And it looks like the wolves have come out to play. We've got some STKFZs out here. Certainly not something we want to see, but they're actually quite close to the farmstead. We might just need to sacrifice that area. We're also popping a lot of warning flares over here near Marinovka. Now, if nothing happens on this front and the Germans don't push, then I'm thinking, especially since they have armor and we don't have much to defend against it, we might go ahead and just take Marinovka West. But it looks like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Look at this, guys. Kosarev and his AT guns fired. They may have gotten a kill on that SDKFZ. I see burning. I don't know. It might just be smoke. This is why I love playing as the Soviets. They just have so many tricks up their sleeve. No, he's still moving forward, but that was a nice shot. Definitely scared the hell out of him. And like I said, what I'm thinking is that if nothing else happens here, you can see the enemy trying to guess where our infantry is, then I'm going to take these infantry squads, and I'm going to take Marinovka back in a massive counterattack. So we'll see how it plays out, but right now we're just kind of waiting for that smoke to dissipate from the enemy. We also got a warning for enemy Stukas being called in over here. I'm not sure what the hell they're doing, but we'll try to ignore it. I see some, like, potential trench works there, so maybe it's our guys being called in? Is that possible? Trying to knock out enemy trenches? I just don't know. That being said, we're going to keep our eye on this situation, but so far, the front is pretty calm still, so we might want to consider taking this attack right to the center of Marinovka, showing them the good old Soviet storm. You can see this is me spreading my units out, sort of moving them over here into these other bushes. I think it's going to be very important if we're going to actually defend this area. Alright, I'm starting to see the units here. I can't tell, are they German or are they Soviets? They are Soviets, guys. The glorious Soviet Air Force here, helping us out. They're moving into Marinovka, although all we can really see are those SDKFZs, so I don't know what they're going to actually hit, or if they already have units planned out, but look at that. They're already targeting the SDKFZ here, and you know what? This just lets me know that, look, Stalin is with us. We need to go for it, guys. Let's attack. We're going to do a full-out assault on Marinovka West with all of our units. I was even going to send some units to Marinovka itself. You know what? I am going to send some units to Marinovka itself, and we'll do an assault there too. But now that the Soviet Air Force is with us, I feel like it's very important for us to look for targets. Looks like they're dropping bombs. Let's hope that they're hitting the correct targets. Alright, man. Lighting that area up near Fedorovka. They must be seeing something that we don't see, and I guess I trust their judgment. There we go, finally hitting the SDKFZ. Now that's what we needed. Let's see if they actually managed to wipe him out or not. He's definitely terrified, but still operational, although I think with a few more rounds, we can knock out a few of the enemy SDKFZs here. And how great would it be if with this massive counterattack down the hill, we could actually take back all of Marinovka. It'd just be beautiful. Look at that. They're going to be in that main building. That would be a perfect HQ. I really hope that our planes will come back to target the Germans holding out in these buildings. Look at that. Look at that, man. So this is actually enemy dropping smoke. That's why our planes are hitting these areas. There are definitely enemies in this area. Of course, we're just not encountering them, but our Air Force are trying to, of course, wipe them out as much as possible. Glorious job by the Soviets. So we're getting some supporting fire at Marinovka Center. Yes, the Air Force is supporting our attack, guys. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is just great, man. I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. So now, of course, our planes trying to target any German units that are in Marinovka. And look at this. We're finally encountering some infantry. They are just splayed out all along the place, and our boys are desperate for some vengeance here, tossing Molotovs at them, doing anything they can to break through. mean, they're not stopping here, guys. We have the momentum, and our men intend to take it. I love it. Let's keep it going. And some more air attacks, please, on that church, the Orthodox Church. Stalin told us we should have taken it down a long time ago anyway. But that aside, we want to get more air attacks on the church and this school. It looks to be like a Soviet school building. And of course, the Germans have re-established it as a German headquarters. We're not going to have that. You can see our boys actually firing up at the tower there. Perfect place for snipers, so they definitely want to take it out quickly. And look at that, our actual planes attacking the tower. Beautiful, man. Look at it, guys. The Soviet storm arrives. Another hit there. Once again, I'm just loving it. And it looks like we've got a bunch of German units over there near Fedorovka. That's where our planes actually initially started attacking. So what I'm going to do, guys, is take Shaktikov and all these units, not all of them, but just a few, Shaktikov specifically, and set them up in these sort of natural trenches. They actually are man-made, just they weren't set up initially during this battle. But that way they can really respond appropriately to the Wehrmacht over here. Quite a lot of German infantry returning fire. And the farmstead still is holding strong. I love it. I wonder if they can also fire on those German infantry. Alright, our boys are approaching Marinovka. The Soviet storm is continuing. Still got our Air Force there in the sky, but they don't seem to be responding. Oh, maybe they're going to try and take out the infantry, the enemy infantry over here in the valley. That would actually be perfect. We need the support, and they are just all over the damn place here. Let's hope we get that air support from our Il-2s. I believe they're Il-2s. If somebody wants to correct me, please do. Guys are well set up here to return fire on the Germans across the valley. I like that they're finally getting set up here, although the enemy are getting some very effective fire on us, I must admit. So might be still targeting. Yep, looks like they're still targeting Marinovka. Listen, our Air Force knows what's best. The man upstairs, good old Stalin himself, knows what's best. But it looks like our infantry are now making it straight to Marinovka Central. And they are definitely holding out in that Orthodox church. So let's hope we can get in there. Everything is on fire. The whole damn town is on fire, particularly the Wehrmacht HQ here. That thing is burning up, thanks to continuous air attacks. I love it. That though. Even Budulashov, an officer, is under attack here, so we really just need to turn our focus completely to the enemy over here. They definitely don't have tanks, but they've got plenty of infantry, and there we go. The Air Force is helping. Beautiful. Nice little strafing run there. Nice, more strafing runs. What we need are some bombs dropped on this group. There we go, guys. Pushing for Marinovka with Burenkov. I don't know if we can take it. They are just very well dug into that building. We definitely need some grenades to take it back. You can see a lot of action going on, but just don't know if we can do it. Now, Marinovka West is ours, which is good news. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect us to take it. But now I think the most important thing to do is hold Marinovka West, and just focus our defense, basically. Turn this counterattack into defense against that approaching Wehrmacht group. That must have been what was expected to attack us, which took quite a while, and instead, of course, we went for the counterattack. They've now arrived, so we need to hold out. We might not be able to take Marinovka, but let's at least hold the west against that group. Also got plenty of cover here in the reeds, and I'm hoping that this is going to help us out. But so far, our Air Force has been spotty at best. I mean, those strafing runs are great, but I need some bombs being dropped here. Love that fire off the rim of the trench. That is so cool. Perfect head on fire right there. So far, our air units are focused on... Actually, look at that. So they're attacking units over here. I mean, there are just so many Germans that we're not even seeing, of course. This is just what our men can see. And maybe we should have stayed in place for that defense, because we're facing a hell of a lot of Jerrys here. The guys closest to us. You know, we've gotten good enough in Graviteam where usually the enemy are offering us ceasefires. This is definitely a situation where we're going to be offering the enemy ceasefire. We can see that we've kind of gotten trapped here. We're still pushing with Budengov and his men, of course, to try to take the center of the town. If we can hold it, that gives us a little bit of an advantage. Well, not an advantage, but it gives us a chance. But it hasn't been happening. Now, the good news is the actual church itself is on fire. We need this whole thing burning before they abandon the building, although for sure it is damaged. So hopefully Budengov can actually take this area. I'm not so sure he can. This is brutal urban warfare here. Get him, come on. Just takes one lucky shot. Oh, they're burning up. Now, there are some mortar groups, definitely an enemy mortar group somewhere around here. We can actually see trenches, so they absolutely have some trenches here around Marinovka, a lot more defended than we expected, for sure. Absolutely. You can actually see officers moving up, etc. Our men stand no chance, friends, and I think especially this is early war combat, of course, and it makes sense. The only reason I don't want to retreat is because we've still got our Air Force attacking, but really ideally they should be attacking the enemy right here. So I'm sticking in the fight just because the Air Force is still there, still doing its job, but overall I don't see this as a victory at all, a chance at a victory. What we're doing now is just trying to increase damage to the enemy as much as possible. So what I will do is actually send this infantry here into Marinovka West, try and put some additional damage there on them there. But I'm pretty much hoping that our Air Force can just do their job here and increase our casualty count. But as far as I'm concerned, man, there is no way we can beat this wave of Wehrmacht units. Even our AT guns are targeting the infantry. Look at this guy, he's smart, taking cover. Did I get hit in the head? I'm not sure. That being said, our Air Force absolutely sees something there, maybe even just a larger group of enemy troops, but we can see the Wehrmacht closing in here, and there's no way we can beat them. So any general at this point has to reckon that, well, one of two things. Either we try to hold out here at Marinovka with Budalashov at the very end. By the way, I think that that's a Turkmen name, if I'm not mistaken. Or we go ahead and flee now. We just try and escape with as many of our men as possible. And to hell with the casualties. I'm still hoping that our Air Force will respond. See, finally, Budalashov and his men are responding to the Wehrmacht here, so let's just see how they do. Although they've already been beat up pretty badly. A few of them are visible for sure. We are definitely spotting some of the enemy units, but the artillery is coming from the enemy. It's not coming from our planes at all. These are not bombs being dropped or anything, and we can see this is why our planes are attacking over here. There's a whole nother group of enemies pushing from this area, and I'm sure the line extends all the way here. They're just pushing towards us, so huge, huge, huge wave of Wehrmacht. This can't be stopped. You know, I thought we would be able to stop them if they didn't have armor, but there's no way, man. They're just too tightly packed. There's too many of them, of course. We're going to have to get the hell out of here. Our men put up a valiant fight, but these places must be retaken later. All right, let's go for it. We are going to call it. We're calling it now. We're going to call the retreat. It's so rare these days that we actually do a retreat in Graviteam, but this is going to be one of those rarities. There just is no escape from this group of units. Now, our planes seem to be coming back. It would be great if they did just some quick bombing runs in the 3 minutes we have to retreat and just hit the targets here. That would be beautiful. Although I don't know if they're going to have that that much battlefield intelligence to do it, or even hit these guys. But as you can see, they have overrun the area where our units once were. There's no getting that area back, folks. Can't wait to see what the casualties are. If our body count is less than the enemy, then I'm going to be very happy. Even if our body count is slightly higher than the enemy, I still think we came out on top for this early war conflict, and even that little hit right there, not really a little hit, but that little artillery strike killed a few Germans, so always a good thing when we're playing as the Soviets in these fights. But as you can see, there's no way we would have withstood this force. It just wouldn't have happened. Our AT gun, one of them is knocked out, one of them is still firing. They would not have been able to stop this many Germans. It just would not have happened. No way. Thank you, Soviet Air Force, for your help anyway. They were pretty helpful there for a portion of the battle, but they couldn't be helpful for the whole thing, unfortunately. God bless them. And Shelikov is still here. I think the officer has still survived. Those Germans are just kind of retaking that trench area. They feel pretty comfortable with themselves. But man, after very heavy fighting, of course, and very heavy bombardment. So it's a draw. I'll take it, man. And actually, the killed are much less than I expected. We only had 30 killed on our side, and we did kill more of the Germans than they killed of us. So the body count really got us the draw on this. Otherwise, it would have absolutely been a defeat because we retreated from the battle. Heavily wounded. We had more heavily wounded than the enemy. But ultimately, killed is what really counts. And we gave them the good old Soviet strike and still managed to hold out to the end. So let me know what you thought of the battle down below. Very interesting and different battle from what we usually do. We didn't have any crazy advantage at all. We just kind of did our best with what we had, with the cover we had. We used the swamps, we used the town. What do you think? Catch you on the next one, folks.